Why would you want to put them in the same pot?
Because they want to grow up together. What's wrong with that? They want to be
Nah, because
together.
they ain't go. They don't. They're not going. You know,
And what?
they ain't gonna reach their full potential.
How you know?
See now,
How do you know?
because they don't need room.
If they're in a bigger pot, they'll have room.
Yeah, but it's a bigger pot for one. Not you know, because they outgrown the little ones.
Mm-mm. I think the other one is outgrowing it faster, but if they were in a pot, the other one would come up to their speed.
Nah, nah.
Yeah. Okay, well it's going already. Been going for almost a minute.
What we chopping it up on?
Um, this is Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday.
Hmm.
What we freestyling about?
It could be anything. We could talk about the we could talk about the a couple of things that have happened in this week, popular media. We can talk about the polite charges. We can talk about the um. I think sexy red is a goddess gone rogue.
Oh what?
Goddess gone rogue. Goddess looking good. Looking good. Hey Naima. Hello. Naima, you still have not picked up no subscription to that newsletter. You can go ahead and pick one up, baby. Yes, it is 16.19 for a year, and you can get all of the village updates. And we have some real special developments that are coming along. You know, we're trying to partner with this group that you can get seeds now through. So partnering with the village, you can get some seeds to start your own little garden, and that could be inside or outside because they have hydroponic lettuce, so you can have like an inside little garden, and then outside, of course, if you have the space as well. So yeah, we got some things developing. Hmm. Great.
Stay on what?
Mute.
What that mean?
Okay, so like when the notices are on mute, notifications are on mute, you don't know when they come up. Like so, you don't know how it. Labor Day was it was kind of hard. It was a little difficult. Uh, but got a lot of rest for sure. Got a lot of rest. Did not have to come out for a couple of days. That was fun. Okay, because the students here in Athens, Clark County, they actually got an extra day off of school because they're not going to have a fall break the way other areas have, or other districts have fall breaks. So they
There's
have
no fall break.
no, there's not a fall break
You mean they going straight through to like Christmas?
to Thanksgiving. Yeah.
You get Thanksgiving home?
Yeah, you get Thanksgiving that I believe it's that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
They had a 5 day weekend.
Yeah. Mhm. So they had that Tuesday off, and so it was nice not having to wake up, at 6, because I think that's the thing that I was least prepared for. Like it was like great that we live like close enough to schools again, and we weren't having to get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and take them all the way to school. But then it seemed like just school started super fast here. Whereas a lot of places school starts after Labor Day. They started actually at the top of August. So it was like, hey, we just got in here in June and now got to start waking up at some 6 o'clock again to get them off to school. But they both take the bus, so that has been nice as well. So just walk them to the bus stop, which is literally um, uh,
Up the hill.
up the hill. And then their bus comes, and their bus is here usually by 8. And then yeah, they're off and running. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean it was it was relaxing. It was a lot. It was restful. I will say that. So that was a lot of peace in that resting. Hmm. That's when my children started on the 21st or something like that. Right, 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 right. Yeah, on the 21st of like what on of August, the end of August. Yeah, that's usually that's what I'm kind of used to. So to have them starting at the top of August was like what? That didn't seem right. And then other places, like I said, they literally didn't start until after Labor Day. So their literal first days will be coming up. Because yeah, it'll be coming up next week or this week or some started like literally after the day after
This
Labor
thing look
Day.
like a green screen.
Yeah, it does. It looks fake, right? But it's real, y'all. That's our real background. That's our real background. August 21st, right? Yeah. So and that even is weird, right? Like starting literally like the week before Labor Day. Like that's kind of weird. Because Labor Day fell on this past Monday, which was the 4th, and so you're quintessentially starting like a week before Labor Day. That's why I said a lot of areas that I was familiar with. They just waited until after Labor Day to start, even if they started literally the day after Labor Day. So they'll start Tuesday, as opposed to waiting a full another week. But mm, yeah, yeah,
I need some light bulbs.
yeah, more like both.
Yeah. I don't know if that light is to this switch with this one. Mm.
Um, so you said you wanted to talk about the football team and the Pound Town situation.
Um.
Because I know it's Freestyle Friday, so
Yeah.
we're just
I,
nothing is
I
scripted. We're just kind of
I
going off
wasn't. I
the.
wasn't. I was planning on doing something TikTok with that. But
Mhm.
I guess I could touch on it. No, I mean, I don't know if anybody has seen this video because I tried to find it on YouTube and I couldn't find it.
Mm.
So this might be something that whoever posted it up on whatever platform Palmetto got it off of.
Mhm.
It looked like TikTok though. That's what
Mhm.
it looked like.
Big shout out to Raw for TV. Great, great, great panel last night. An impromptu panel, I would say,
Can I
featuring
finish?
just wanted to say Dave.
Can I finish? That was like no. Go ahead. Finish. Too good for TV. Go
Just it was the impromptu panel featuring uh I want to say Big Baby Jesus, but Crip Jesus, Crip Jesus off of Instagram, and about the 403 culture and
304.
304. Oh, I did. I said
304.
it backwards. 304 culture, and It was great that we were able to be a part because usually we are like still cleaning and getting ready for bed and that sort of thing, but we were able to um, be present and not just listening in, but actually being involved in a conversation about the 304 culture. And there was a video that was played that really shocked us and definitely got my husband out of the king bed at 12 o'clock, walking all around the room. Yes, definitely. It definitely was motivation.
Yeah, so it's this video. I don't know if it went viral or what. I don't know.
It
Um,
was.
so this football team gets a win. I mean, I don't know how big of a win it is because I mean, football season just started. So I mean, Anyway, they get a win, and the music is playing, and they are dancing and celebrating to What's this chick name again?
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red's Pound Town. Now, mind you, this is a locker room full of guys,
Yeah.
high school guys. They jumping around. One guy lifts his hands up, stands in, I don't know if it's a twerk or a bounce. I don't know what the hell that was. It was super gay, and I don't care who's offended. It was gay as shit. Um, and I was disgusted. I played high school ball. Under no circumstances ever would that have been played in our locker room. Ever. And it makes me think like, what what are we doing? What what are we doing? What is being look, locker rooms is like I mean, how can I you know what? It don't even matter. That's where men go to be men. This is where, we say a bunch of inappropriate things that would probably raise the hairs on the back of women's necks. This is what a locker room is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is what it is. And to sit there and watch these dudes dance and gyrate and this is Pound Town. I'm like, if you've ever okay, I had never heard of Sexy Red up until what, a week ago?
Yeah,
Was that
about a week
about a
ago.
week ago? Till a
It
week
was
ago.
all good until a week ago.
And so when I looked her up, I listened to Pound Town,
I'm Sexy Red.
Trash. What's the other song?
Ski.
Nah, not that one.
I
That's her
don't know.
first song, right?
Ski is the first song.
Not that one.
I don't know the other song. She has a song
Nah,
with
what
Sookie called Hood Rat.
that?
Yeah.
Those the only two songs, and then I listened to Ski You, and then that's when I was like, all right, she's from Queensbridge. Or she's from Queens. I don't know if she's from Queensbridge. I think she's from Southside. I'm not sure. But it was Gang Lace, the video. So I'm like, okay, she's banging. But anyway, it's trash. It's trash. Ski U is trash. Pound Town trash. The thing with Sukiyaki, Akisuki, whatever the hell name is trash. It's all trash. It's garbage. And these dudes just running around, hopping around, shaking their asses like a bunch of fucking frauds. Like, you kidding me? Just throw a stripper pole in the locker room and and give it a go. This is what you dudes look like, man. Y'all look like a bunch of homos, man. Yeah. Again, I don't care who's offended. I don't care because I'm offended. Yeah, I'm offended. I'm offended how. We'll bring you back. I was about to go off topic. We can bring it back. But anyway, it's disturbing at how feminine the youth are becoming. The male youth is extremely disturbing, and it's being normalized for these dudes to be like this. And I don't know what happened. I don't know when this like I don't. This is foreign to me. You know, it's foreign to me. Like, when I grew up, a guy like Little Nas X would never ever get airplay anywhere. And here it is. This guy is but this guy wouldn't be even remotely associated with anything dealing with hip hop. What's the other dude dressed like a girl was running around with this chick with that song that they did for the Democrats?
Oh, Tulsi Santana.
That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is how can this be normalized? Like, and it's disturbing, and I'm hurt and disgusted by this. They have ruined and polluted my locker room. This is what they've done.
Hey, Shelly. Oh, so Shelly was a part of the conversation last night. Shelly Shell. Yes, Shelly was a part of the conversation last night. And you know, I think everybody was kind of very inspired by the conversation because I think it raised real awareness, and a lot of us were just kind of feeding in from different angles, different perspectives.
I want to know who the coach was. I want to know who the hell this coach was. That's all. Remember, I told you, like, we weren't even allowed to play music in our locker room.
Yeah, you said that. But see, I have something that's. I mean, I have a little 2 cents, and I remain relatively quiet because I don't feel like football is in. I don't think football ultimately is like. Um, these are not. Uh, I don't think that they're the best examples of the way our you should be engaging with one another, even of how
Engaging
they're
how? What do you mean?
because they're like you said, like what goes on in the male locker room is
That's every sport.
a lot of
That's every male locker room, every sport.
but I mean the way it's encouraged for our boys particularly to play football. That's what concerns me because it's just like no matter where you are, as soon as your sons get a certain
that's a different conversation.
it is, but it's not. Because
No,
when we talk about the culture of the locker room, yes. So let's talk about. That's why I said I remain relatively quiet because Devon, we can't keep saying, okay, like we got to take the crickets with the straights. And if you're saying
that's a whole nother that's a different conversation.
How so?
How is it not?
I'm asking you how is it?
You talking about the culture of a locker room,
right?
Or you talking about
the culture of the locker room and
how they push us towards sports.
how certain things are normalized. No, in locker rooms. And I'm saying that in football in general, this becomes a space where, hey guy, all right, so we in here. What do you think? Who do you think is at fault? The parent, their coach, or society?
All three.
Wow. Yeah.
All three.
Yeah, I think all everyone has some role there. But when I'm saying about culture in locker rooms in general, I think some of it was exposed when Trump said this is locker room talk, and it was very interesting because he ain't never been in nobody's locker room. But when he said the whole thing about grabbing them by the pussy, right? He said that was locker room talk, and then there was who was it? It was somebody really big that was like, we don't talk like that in locker rooms. And I was just like, this is what makes Trump, what he's saying, valid because I know you're lying. Like I know you're lying. He was a professional athlete. And I don't know if it was Russell or it was someone, it was somebody, it was a big NBA star that said we don't talk like that in locker rooms. And I was like, wow, like AC Green himself set it off with how locker room banter, basically in itself kind of tried to impact his decision to remain a virgin, guys showing him pictures of their wives naked, you know. Uh, so this is not smash the like, everyone. Thank you so much. That's a mod right there. That's a queen mod right there. Okay, thank you so much, Shelly. And I thought that I had missed someone, but I see Naima, that comment just got moved up further. But I think that there's a couple of things at stake there. That's why it's the conversation is needed in regards to, well, what is going on in locker rooms that now we can bring in this very and then on top of that, basically making rounds at schools was Sexy Red's that was a part of her like whole promo. She made rounds at they enter into these contests in these high schools. She comes to their pep rallies. And so I'm just like, what kind of administration, what kind of staff? But I'm telling you all, this is a slippery, slippery slope that we all can agree that is this didn't just start. This started when people thought it was okay to let, Beyonce music be played at, why is it that okay, Beyonce music be played at the pep rallies, and she can come in and do this whole, what was that whole campaign that she did with Michelle Obama about get moving, and the song, get me body. I mean, does any what
Get
get
me
me?
body.
Yeah, get me body tonight. And so this became a little anthem, double dutching, and the whole little, and this was something that was literally targeted, that was put towards campaigns. I mean, was put toward, this campaign was launched towards schools, towards youth. And this is what the song calls, and and it says, even in the original lyrics, when I put on this dress, I'm gonna get me some of what, Beyonce? Like, nobody wants to hold these artists accountable. But then we want to move into, when it gets to the pound towns, oh, this is, or the sexy reds, this is like, this shouldn't be happening. And none of it should have been happening. So it creates a slippery slope, no pun intended. But this is what I mean when I say all of these elements need to be exposed. They need to be examined, and we need to, it has got to be a all or nothing. We cannot as a culture continue to say, well, I like it, but then over here, nah, it shouldn't be played over here. But I like it. I like what I like, but what they like is, nah, it's totally it's totally off. It's inappropriate. It's ridiculous. I always say, even your boy in it himself, Biggie. Once he made that line about, fucking somebody up in the ass and throwing him over the bridge, it's a wrap for me. So you ain't gonna sit around talking about something. These guys are gay for twerking and that, and this dude can talk about fucking a dude in the ass and throwing him off on the bridge. And that is, then tell me how it go. Fucking in the ass, throw him over the bridge. Nah. And now we gonna talk. Let's talk about it. How the lyric went.
It should be. That shit gay as hell. Shit gay as hell.
No. And that's why I said that's where we cannot expect for someone to do something that we're not willing to do. If you ain't willing to say, okay, that shit is gay, I'm gonna stop listening to that shit, because that.
Yeah, but you took the one line. Like, what is the song about though?
No,
but no. What is the song about?
The song is about it was on the commandments.
No, it's not.
It's not on this. That's not 10 commandments. But
Absolutely
still, but the line. Why do we have to say the whole song?
Because
the line itself is gay. It's a gay act.
It's all right. Okay. All right.
No, I'm saying, like,
no. You already got your mind made up. It doesn't matter what I say.
No, this is not about it not being. Doesn't matter what you say. I'm saying that for real. Like, if this was another artist, you wouldn't say, if Lil Nas X, that one line, that wouldn't be, oh, that's gay.
Again, it's all right. Courtney is gay.
It is. So with that saying, if we can't say for them, we have to stop saying, I know it. We have to stop saying, well, they can't do that, but we can.
Nah, listen, Big never stood with his shirt off, pants half and hanging half off his ass, and twerking. So,
but you can say that line. Nah, but you can say something.
He ain't have his hands in the air, ass to the camera, and popping his ass.
But I'm saying,
No,
but you
no,
can say
no,
so as
no,
long as you
Courtney,
don't look
no, you
gay.
can't. No, it's not the same thing. It's not
But
even remotely the same
I
thing.
didn't say it was the same thing, but I said it's gay. It's a gay thing to say.
Again, you taking one, you doing what a bunch of these reporters and media do. They take one line out of something and take it out of context. You're not even putting in context the whole song.
Devon, again, this is not about context. This is about us picking. No, it's not. It's about us picking and choosing.
All right.
And so you're gonna pick and choose because it's someone that you like.
Okay, Courtney.
It's someone that may be skilled. It may be someone that is someone that you like, though. I say the same thing about Lil Wayne. You can't tell me nothing about Lil Wayne not being a GOAT. But when it came to, I remember the song because I loved it. Right above it, right? He said, "See that beautiful woman? Bet that bitch look better red." Now, some people were saying, "Oh, that was about gang affiliation. That didn't have nothing to do with skin tone." But because it's Lil Wayne, and because I think the most melanated of the females that he was, with probably was Nevaeh. But I had to really look at that and being like, how do I look as a very melanated sister sitting around here, like, yeah, I'm singing this song. And this was before I had started doing the red hair again too. So I couldn't even attribute it to that. But I was just like, okay, I have to be honest with it. Can still like him, still love him, still think he's the best. The lyric is off the song "What's Beef." Yeah, excuse me, but it was that lyric, correct? That was that lyric, and it's a very homosexual thing to say, and it was this we cannot continue as a culture to say to make uh to make excuses. We have got to cut it. We got to cut it. We've got to cut it because what we don't stand on, we will continue to, we'll have to backtrack. We'll have to backtrack. And those kids will be do the same thing. I had a very long conversation with my son about ASAP Rocky, another one. I like him. I like him. I like NBA Youngboy. Like him. But when certain things came into my into my awareness from people that I respected their opinion on, I had to, kind of like take a look at certain things. Didn't make me feel anything less of his skill set. I think NBA Youngboy I think he is talented. I think he's handsome. I think he has a vibe. Like I can really feel how people get into him. He has a vibe. But when he started doing the whole rock star goth makeup and the top, that was one thing that brother God Palmetto brought to my attention. His whole top album being called top, because he had told me prior to that there were rumors circulating that he was kind of not even kind of, but he was heading into that lifestyle. And then this is someone that I introduced my son to. And so I'm like, now that certain things are starting to develop and it's looking like that, what would I be still saying to my son? Yeah, cool. Let's listen to this because I like him. Nah. And then my son and I were having a conversation about ASAP Rocky. Love ASAP Rocky. I always say he's the prettiest man I ever seen. He's a very handsome, very, very handsome, but fine featured man. Think it's real cool that him and Rihanna are building a family together and all that good stuff. But he has a song I called Praise the Lord. And I did use it. I ended up using it on my IG. But I'm like, we listened to it. And then my son was like, well, he may say this stuff in other songs, but this is a good song. And he says, praise the Lord. And I said, because he's praised, this is just because he says it doesn't mean he's doing it. But we actually did listen to the interview, and he did talk about it being influenced by his relationship with God. He did say that. But I'm like, how do you say praise the Lord or where Dior in the next line? you know, that's something else to be said. But again, we can't, as a culture, continue to make. And this is not me picking on you or picking on Big. You know, I don't like him, and that's for real. But this is not me picking on you or picking on him. I'm saying, can you see that we make excuses for who do we like?
No, that's not even supposed to be the same thing.
But you can agree that the lyric is gay. Even you
I
can,
say,
yeah, you can agree to that. But we can say that. But like I said, because you like him, you can look past that, and you can look at other songs and say, okay, well, he's skilled, he's this, he's that, because of other songs. But if this were, like I said, if this was another artist that you didn't like, and they would say that, I personally think you would be like, oh, that's, you heard what he said, that's gay.
Okay, if I didn't like the artist, 9 times out of 10, I ain't even heard the line, the lyric, whatever.
Right. But I'm saying, if you had heard that this artist said this, you'd be like, oh, that's gay. But because it's Biggie and it's someone that you like and it's someone who is
because I know the
talented,
song and I know what the context of the song.
I'm saying it's not about the song. I'm saying that lyric. If that lyric were said by someone that you did not like, you would use that lyric to confirm, yes, they're this, they're that. And I'm saying, I don't think that there should be a difference. I think if it's someone that I like and it's a lyric that's questionable, it should also still be applied to someone that I don't like and the lyric is questionable. So that's my point. And I said, I don't think until we are ready to do that as a culture, we are going to be in a position of of dictating calls, dictating how that's supposed to go, because we're not standing on that. We're not standing on that as a whole. I can't speak on what I'm doing individually when I know as a whole we are not standing on that. We're not standing on having quality content and progressive or positive influences. We are making adjustments and excuses because it's stuff that we like. And so, like I said, I know that that's not easy, but I think until we are literally ready to do that, it takes an honesty across the board. Until we're ready to do that, we cannot expect for um we cannot expect to see that type of change. First,
What do you read?
I was seeing if I missed any messages.
Now we got them all. Yeah, your topic.
That wasn't my call.
I'm telling you, bring your topic in.
I already, I just said that it was freestyle. I don't really have a topic.
When we go again?
Yeah, you can.
Don't have nothing. Oh, Brother Polite.
Okay.
Mm, Brother Polite. We just cap out the 7 years
Mm-hmm.
for child endangerment and contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Right.
No sex charges, but yet still there's a chance he can be civilly committed after he's done with his time. And he has to register. Now, I know somewhere in there is some kind of sex something if you got to register. Because child endangerment and delinquency of a minor is not Megan's law material, but he still has to register. So somewhere in there, that is part of the plea agreement. He's got to register. The only time you got to register for that, there was some kind of sexual element. So what that means is that his lawyer was good enough to get that stuff kicked, but they still making him register. So there was some kind of sex element in there. Now, there was no DNA evidence saying that he had, relations with this woman, with this child, but something happened. He's got to register something happened. And the civilly committed thing, that's huge. That means he can do them 7 years, day for day. And they can tell him, now you ain't going nowhere. You're going over here to this little house over here. You're going to sit there for the rest of your goddamn life, as long as we see fit. So he's got to pass battery tests and all this other stuff, psyche valves. But he's still saying he ain't do nothing. But remember, I told you, like nobody cops out if they didn't do it.
Right.
To like rape charges, sexual molestation, and they're not copping out for that. Jokes that cop out to like robberies, even if they didn't do it. If they feel like they going up the river, they cop out. And I don't care who you are, you ain't copping out to no rape charge. You ain't copping out the rape charge. That's going inside. That's probably the worst charge you could have because you look. P's gonna be against you because you an inmate. Then it is double because you're a rapist. Then the other prisoners gonna hate you because you're a rapist. So nobody cops out to that. Nobody cops out to that. Only time jokes cop out to that is when they go to one of those spots where it's just sex offenders. It's just them. So it doesn't matter you're a rapist because everybody with you is a rapist. Everybody around you is a rapist. Nobody cops out to these charges. But he didn't cop out to those charges, like I said. So, but there's some kind of sexual element in there because in that plea agreement, he's got to register, and there's that civilly committed thing. So I don't know what he did. I wasn't in the hotel room. Nobody was, but something happened in there. And it was some kind of sexual nature. Something sexual happened. What you think?
Wait,
hold up. How did he make his money though?
He sold, I believe he sold like plans, like financial plans, like he sold like credit building plans, things like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So they saying he scammed like this money out of people.
That's what I found when it comes to the black people in the scam word, everybody is scamming except for their jobs and who they pay their rent to, and those are the biggest scams.
I'm saying like he wasn't selling like fake land or something, or selling bridges.
He was selling plans. Like I said, he was selling like credit boosting plans and multi-marketing plans and stuff like that. Like having access to that
stuff.
Yeah, those master classes. Like he was the master of those type of master classes.
Okay.
Yeah, he introduced that to the world of I think conscious culture for sure, for sure. But no, I remember when the polite stories broke, and they broke around the time where I was really kind of just finding out like who he was, and I think he was like one of his queens, as he called them, was a white woman because he was into polygamy. He was very heavy into polygamy, and I was just starting to find out who he was because it was at the top of COVID, and I was getting into a lot of different rooms and that sort of thing, and people were mentioning that polygamy was a way to build up wealth because Brother Polite was doing it, and he was very well. I know he was very well known on the scene in regards to speaking engagements and that sort of thing. It was very knowledgeable, but I just think it was yeah. I think it was very it was very predatory because
What do you mean?
the act of
The polygamy thing?
no, about the act of what he was arrested for.
Oh,
Because apparently he had pursued this woman uh strictly because of the fact that she or he took advantage of the fact of her being very vulnerable and a very beautiful woman. I mean, I've seen the mom, very beautiful, so I can just imagine what the daughter looks like. But
what was daughter, like 15?
yeah, I think she was 14 or 15 at the time of the alleged situation. But uh it's very predatory, and it hurts to know that there are people in our culture that do this because again, Brother Polite was um very, he was very well known in the conscious community, and I saw what type of women were going after him and wanting to be a part of his harem, so to speak. And these were beautiful, fine, no underwear wearing women. You know,
How you really have no underwear?
they had garments on that you could see through them, and their booties would move in a certain way. You could tell when somebody don't have, as my friend Terrence used to call them, no grippers. They ain't have no grippers on, and just like lines and lines of them. So to know that you were going after women, beautiful women that had children because you knew that they could be in a vulnerable situation with you, that is deplorable. And it does hurt to know that we continue to prey on one another in the same way and in the same fashion that the oppressive culture, the oppressive community, the oppressive demographic has preyed upon our people from the moment that we step foot onto this soil. I'm always very hurt when I see how we treat each other in the same way that, or in the same ways that the oppressive culture treats us. Because I think that when it comes to us, we should have a little bit more care with one another. We should have a little bit more understanding. We should have a little bit more compassion for one another. Because, hey, we have gotten hurt by this culture, by this other community, this other species, in one way or the other. We've gotten hurt by them. So for us to do it to each other, it floors me. And I know what they say, the adage reigns true: hurt people hurt people. So sometimes, a lot of times you can't escape that fact. But do I think he did it? I do. I do. Um, yeah, I don't have really too much to say about it. I think he did it. I think he's guilty of it. I think also too it's very telling that the men, I'm watching the men that are not speaking out about it. I'm watching for that because there are a couple of very much in the conscious community um, people that I watch, and I'm still waiting for their little post to drop because they can make a post about everything else. But I'm watching for people that ain't saying nothing, because if you're not saying nothing about this, then it is very suspicious. Very suspicious that you have nothing to say about it, because what I feel is that if you have nothing to say about it, it may be because it is something that you practice or something that you don't believe you did anything wrong.
But a fraud, how? I mean, clearly he's a child molester, but I mean, fraud, how though? Because if he made his money with just selling classes or selling these master classes or whatever, how is that fraudulent?
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably the same way that you feel about the guy Jay Morrison. He does stuff like that.
No, but see, no, okay, so Jay Morrison was actually selling something.
He was selling real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
Real estate that didn't exist.
No, it existed. Real estate existed.
Okay, so anything he sold to anybody, nobody has no land.
Well, it's not that they have. I don't like he has actual land. I think it's kind of
he has land.
No, they have land, or they have invested in land. It's a fund to purchase the land. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what it
So
is.
not the same thing.
Right.
If you, because what you doing? You selling a dream.
Yes, that's what he's doing. Yes.
Yeah. Nah.
He's selling a
Nah.
bridge to
Jay
heaven.
Morris, he's a fraud.
He's selling
He's
a
a fraud,
bridge
a
to
con
heaven.
man, and all that other stuff. But
The guy says to take your New York Giants cap off is hurting his eyes. Exclamation point.
listen. That's because it's shining right now, my boy.
Exclamation
That's because
point.
it's shining right now, guy.
Guy
You
said
about to start some
exclamation
beef.
point.
You about to start some beef.
Exclamation point.
Yeah. You about to be beefing, homie. You about to start some beef. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Well,
that time of year too, homie. It's that time of year, boy. You better know it. You better know it. It's that time of year. Mm-hmm. Bung bung. Yeah. Anyway, if he's selling master classes, right? If you're gonna call him a fraud, then you gotta call everybody that's ever put out a self-help book, a how-to book,
right.
how-to video,
That's what I'm saying.
all that stuff.
And I think that this stuff is
All the way
not
down to
fraudulent.
Dr. Phil and Oprah Winfrey herself.
And I think
So yeah, so I mean, I mean, I hear everybody say that he scammed, he fraud, but nobody can tell me exactly what he did.
right.
Because
Right.
I never heard of Brother Polite until I'm gonna see about maybe 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't hear about him. I heard about him off and on, but I didn't hear people starting to hate on him until he started making real money. When he started making more money, he was getting flashy with the cars. He was getting flashy with he was taking his harem out to these very nice shopping trips on Rodeo Drive. I remember he was doing videos all the time over there, taking them out to these restaurants over there. He had about 3 or 4 women with him all the time. This is when I started to see, oh, that was some lightning. Okay, we getting some action tonight.
that was lightning?
Yeah, that was lightning. So
Damn, I hope it don't rain. I ain't got
so I'm very aware that it seemed like the more money, the more problems. When the dude was making his rounds, and he was walking around with his unk pieces, and he had his staff, and it wasn't nobody on his on his jock like
Yeah, these
that.
bugs is on attack. We about to shut this
Yeah,
down.
we need to shut this all the
We
way
about to
down
shut this
because
down
they're
'cause
crazy.
We done put this ring light up, and now they just
Crazy.
they are on attack.
They
They
about to
over there. They ain't even worried about that over here. They right here.
Yeah, they are. But nobody was worried about him. He was walking around with his unk pieces. He had his turbans on. They were just, Brother Polite was known as being very knowledgeable, and I think him and Tariq had some issue a couple of times, and it was
Tariq
little
who?
beefs. Tariq Nasheed. It was little stuff like that here and there.
From the nation?
Tariq Nasheed, the one that did Hidden Colors.
Oh.
But when the dude started pulling up in them blue Lambos, fraud, scamming, never got my book. I remember I was on a live and people was like, they never got their books. They said they ordered 10. I said, well, that was your problem.
You ordered 10 books.
Why you ordered 10? You should have ordered 1 and let that 1 come because you already had seen how other people said that he wasn't the book. But and this is how I knew too that we're jumping the gun with that because I've written a book and it does. When you don't have the books in your possession, getting the book from the publisher and getting it sent out to the person, y'all, that could take it could literally take months. I'm not even gonna kid you. And especially if you are overseas, it could take months. And so, people were saying that he scammed them out of money because they didn't get books. Come on. Y'all, that it could really take a while. It could really take a while. So when I would see stuff like this, I was like, these are from people that really just don't know how this works. They don't know how this works. He could literally not even be aware that these people have ordered this stuff. You're ordering from publishers, and it may not be coming. I mean, people can get on here and say they self-publish, but that doesn't mean that they have all the books literally sitting in their house and they're sending them off as they can. And then also too, if they do, when you're not paying for shipping, sometimes you have to wait till somebody buys a whole book whole before you can pay to ship it. So a lot of stuff has to go on. This entrepreneur life ain't it's not all blue Lambos. But once he got the blue Lambo, once he had, that those pieces changed, to Tariq Nasheed is a fraud too.
How was he
Understood.
a fraud?
Understood.
This guy, hey guy, my guy. Listen, guy, stop it, man.
He's
Stop
on
it,
one.
man.
Guy said
Stop it. Stop it,
Guy
man.
was on expose.
How was he a fraud?
Guy
All
is
he do is make
exposing.
movies. But that last one was a little,
Oh no, that's not all he does. He makes music. He's a producer.
Producing what?
He has a song. He has a couple of songs. You gotta see him. He's with his long mink coat. He's a pimp.
I don't think that was lightning. I think that was a bug because I'm seeing him fly past the camera and it's looking crazy. Yo, they look at this. They on attack. This is ring light.
Yeah, but that was lightning. That was in the back. That wasn't in the front.
I'm telling you, this is.
But but that wasn't what I saw in the sky. But no, this is what I really think the problem. I think that y'all again, once again, keep the same energy. Your health insurance is a scam. AARP is a scam. Aetna is a scam. Yeah, AARP
ain't that the old people?
Yeah, that is scam. Your job is scamming you out of thousands of dollars a month. Our government is a scam. So, but what happens is we start to attack the people that are closest to us, who we feel like we can have some direct effect with. And most times that's people that look like us, the people that are closest to us. But I just say keep that same energy. I personally never ordered a book from Brother Polite, so I can't sit over here and judge that. I can judge just only my intuition as a mother of what I feel when I heard and how I felt, how I empathized with the mom, and with also having a daughter.
Did you hear her I guess speech?
Since he was sentenced? Not since he was. Not since he was.
I don't know if it was. It might have been during the sentencing. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was long.
He said your New York Giants team is a fraud too. 2 O's. 2 O's. Exclamation point.
You know what? We shutting this down.
Exclamation point.
You turning Guy off. Guy, we about to block you.
We're not about to block Guy.
About to block Guy. Guy talking crazy right now.
I don't think Guy is talking.
Guy talking crazy right now.
New York Giants. See, that was lightning.
Guy, send your location.
He's in New York.
Now I know. Send your location.
Okay.
Me and the homies is pulling up. I'll be up there next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate,
that time of year, homie. That time of year.
So we have a few more minutes. Literally, we have 7 more minutes left in the live. Recap. Like I said, y'all, nothing stops until we stop. Big power up to EFF. They said they won their second round of
Who's EFF?
The South African group that's running Julius Malema, that's running for president. That's the EFF. They won their second round in the elections. So I don't know how they do it. That's what I want to know. South Africa's a scam. They got to go through multiple rounds to win the presidency. It sounds like they might be scamming.
That Washington football team.
You can't take his same thing and use it against him.
No, you can't. About that.
No, you can't. You can't take his same thing and use it against him.
No. You know why? Because they done changed their name 3 times in the last 4 years. You know how much merchandise you got to rebuy?
Again, I'm gonna always defend my husband, but the guy got that off first. I don't think you can steal that from him. He got
That's why guy getting blocked.
He said just your team was a fraud. He said it was hurting his eyes. He already got his stuff off.
I was trying to let that stuff go.
I understand.
But then he kept going.
Yeah, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Well, we were just doing the recap again.
Basement dwellers.
Like I said.
They love the basement.
Okay. All right. Like I said.
Always
I think that
really truly been relevant since Doug Williams.
We as a people
slightly.
It won't stop until we stop. Okay, we have to realize that we have the power in that. but it takes conviction, it takes honesty, and it does take sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice, absolutely. So we know that this culture has this generation is going awry because of their influences now. We have to realize how we have been a part of misleading or misguiding with those influences, and we have to do that here and today. I think that I feel about um, I think I think that I think that this generation, of course, I have to feel that way. I have two children that are coming up in this generation. They have a lot more to offer than what we may give them credit for, because they're super smart, but at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of misguidance that has going on, and I believe that we as elders, as we are becoming the elders of this demographic, as this culture, and as this diaspora, we've got to do a better job of showing what a unified effort looks like and how it can be absolutely beneficial to all of us, not just some of us. Um, I think Sexy Red is a goddess gone rogue.
I'm out.
And I think that
sexy goddess.
I said she's Sexy Red is a goddess gone rogue, and I think that
how you figure that?
How do I figure? Look at her.
How sexy? What makes a goddess a goddess? Just pure looks?
No, I think it's a vibe.
Because if that's the case, there's a bunch of those motherfuckers.
It's a vibe and it's an energy.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Her vibe is destroying her people.
We are not even going to do that. You're not going to start me up. We only have 3 minutes.
No. You talking about this goddess? Like what makes a goddess?
I think that she is. I think that she is absolutely stunning. I think that she has been
so this is what puts her in the goddess
she category. Has a vibe. Not just that, but she has a vibe.
So it doesn't matter what the vibe is as long as it's a vibe.
No, I didn't say it didn't matter what the vibe is. I think she has a vibe of honesty and
a vibe of honesty.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely necessary. And at the time, it would be easier for her to just say and do what's popular. Like if
she's doing what's popular.
That's not true. She really isn't. She ain't out there getting no BBLs. She ain't out there getting no tit jobs.
No, but she run around in Pound Town.
At any rate.
Yeah.
At any rate, we're not gonna take something out of context, but we're not gonna do to her what the reporters do to people. We are going to look at this beautiful being, and we are just going to uplift her in energy.
So she get it passed because you like ski you.
It's not ski you, it's ski, and it's not just because ski
you.
It's not just ski.
It's all the same thing.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
It is. It's all trash.
And like I said, I'm not about giving nobody no passes, because there are plenty of artists that if I was giving them passes, I would still be listening to.
So when I say that, so we going by looks
I think that she's
in honesty, like you say.
I think that she's
Rihanna's a goddess.
Yeah, a lot of people think she is. I don't agree.
No.
Yeah.
According to you, she would be a goddess.
Yeah, I've never said that Rihanna was not attractive or anything like that. I've never said that. You never heard me that.
You never called her a goddess either.
No, because I'm not gonna worship her.
So you're gonna worship ski?
I think her real name is, and it's beautiful too. It's like Deny. Very nice.
No. So you calling her goddess? You saying she's?
I think she's worthy of being worshipped.
Wow.
I think she's worthy.
Wow.
I think she is. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done with her before she can realize her true worth. And I think Rihanna is coming into that. She is coming into that. I think that having a son
she
also
was half dressed, pregnant, prancing around. Man, come on.
I think her having a son is helping her with that. And that's like I say, they're not popular opinions, but they're mine. I mean, they are opinions. It's 20 seconds, and so I was just finishing off the recap. Thank you. So again, y'all, this has been all right. We want to be very much more productive and focused with our next upcoming live. Please check us tomorrow. We're gonna be on at our regular time, 7 to 1.
I mean, listen, we shooting for 721. Don't mean it's gonna be 721. Ain't why till I die.
Wow.
Guy.
Bye, guy.